Coming.
What's the title?
Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Greg Dixon here with Maurice Thomas Jr. And we're going to talk about, Maurice is going to talk about the three possible outcomes for mortgage notes. And he's got a little presentation. Maybe do you want to do an introduction before we put the presentation up?
Sure
Or,
thing.
or, or do you want to put the presentation up? Do you want to just go?
Sure. Let me
I'll put it up here, right? So let's just do, yeah.
okay, there we go. So I had to make sure I was streaming as well, Greg.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So you should be able to control it
I should. Okay.
with your right. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. So good afternoon. Happy Thursday, as Greg said, investors. Today we are just simply talking about three possible outcomes when it comes to a mortgage note. If you have been paying attention, I think maybe yesterday or early Tuesday morning, I did a LinkedIn post and it received a lot of traction. And I have some individuals on Facebook or Meta, as people would say as well, reach out to me, tell me more. Not only tell me more, but give me the high level um, version of how mortgage notes actually work. So I just threw together um, seven slides here real quick on the three possible outcomes or the scenarios when it comes to making money in this space. The first and most important piece here is what is a mortgage note? I think everyone needs to know what that is essentially. It's pretty much a written promise to pay. That's all it is. If you have ever purchased a home and you actually did the signing or at the table or anything of that nature, you're pretty much just signing a written promise to pay. Very similar to your student loans. I know people hate to hear that, but you had a promise to pay here. So that's pretty much what a mortgage note is. It's a promise to pay. Now, when you it's pretty much I owe you. You're letting the lender, I owe you this money and I promise to pay it. Okay. So that's pretty much what a mortgage note is. Now, to take it a step further, it's only three possible outcomes when it comes to a note. Okay. Now, the first one is an individual pay as agreed. If someone is paying as agreed, that means the borrower consistently makes their monthly payments according to the terms of the actual note, including the principal and interest associated with the loan until the loan is actually paid in full. Okay, that's pretty much it. If I was to give you an example, let's say John borrows 200,000. John purchased the home with a 30-year fixed rate at 4%, and he makes all his payments on time. Let's just say the monthly payments are $955, and he pays the entire loan off, during that 30-year interval, and he just pay individuals as agreed. Pretty straightforward, right? Simple. That's the first option. Second option, someone pays off early. Okay, someone pays off early. Third option, fail to pay. Okay. So if someone pays off early, what they pretty much do is, let's say the borrower decides to pay off their mortgage based on the maturity date, and most of the time they either pay in a lump sum, or they either pay in three ways. They make a lump sum payment. Um, they actually make extra payments, which reduces the overall interest rate. Or what they do is they may refinance. That could be another option as well. That's a good exit strategy as well. That's one of my favorite. But outside of that, let's just say Sarah takes out a 15-year mortgage for $150,000. Let's keep it math simple at a 3.5% interest rate. She consistently makes monthly payments according to the amortization of the loan. But let's say she decides to sell her home, at that 10-year mark. To do this, she would probably make a lump sum payment, or she will actually refinance the actual loan to actually satisfy the mortgage, which actually is going to save her on the cost of the loan in general. But paying off early is definitely one of the options that no investors see often as well. And the last one is people love to hear, what can actually go wrong, which is they fail to pay. If they fail to pay, you got several exit strategies that I like to say, but let's keep it simple today. Let's say that they fail to pay, and if someone fails to pay, the outcome pretty much is the borrower, let's say they encounter some kind of financial difficulties and they are unable to actually make the required mortgage note payment, which leads to default on the loan. You can, foreclose on a property, or you can take other, legal actions. But for example, in this case, let's say Mark loses his job, he's unable to make the monthly mortgage payments. Let's say that the loan is 250,000 and it's at a 5% interest rate. After several months, he misses, some payments here. The lender initiates the foreclosure. In this case, it'll be us initiating the foreclosure to recover the outstanding balance. And for the most part, most of the time, if someone fails to pay, you will maybe offer cash for keys, to actually get the property. You can encourage them to refinance, going back to step 2, have them pay it off early. And then you can actually, well, let's just say we have them pay it off early. You can encourage them to refinance. You can, again, give cash for keys. You can actually do the foreclosure process yourself. Several other exit strategies. Maybe that's something, Greg, you and I can go in on. I like to call a top 10 exit strategy. I think I got about 8 to 10 of them. Maybe we can cover that next week. But for the most part, those are the only 3 possible outcomes when it comes to notes. We're short and sweet. They pay as agreed, they pay off early, or they actually fail to pay. Um, I don't really know what else to say, Greg. It's really
Yeah. So that's I think that's you're right, because you talked about we made a video and we did a broadcast about the 4 things that can go wrong, and you had 10 remedies. So that's a really good thing. And I think one of the interesting items here is in both the second case where they pay off early, and also if they fail to pay, it may be more fuss, but at the end you have a better return on your investment in some cases.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what we can do is, I gave a high level scenario, but we can actually run some numbers, because if you use the same numbers, you can show the return rates. And that's one of the things that I don't want to guarantee, return rates or anything in that nature, but
Yeah,
we can give an illustration with a real deal so people can actually see exactly what the returns look like, coupled with
yeah,
the exit strategies and how the money actually, stacks up here.
yeah.
That's a great call out. Great call
Yeah,
out, Greg.
that would be a good thing to do, like to have each one of those as, you can just make up the numbers, right? We have somebody that's 100,000, they're paying whatever, and then what happens when they just continue to make the payments, and then what happens if they buy it out early, and we can make up the scenario, and then we can, and then the last one is what happens. So and it
Absolutely.
gets messy, and you and I know some people who love the messy ones. All they do is get in the messy ones, right?
Yeah, yeah. I stay away from the messy ones as much as I can, especially the second position notes. But if it's a nice deal, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah. So our buddy Patrick Franz made a comment out there from the just checking in. I don't know if he's still there. If he wants to ask a question, make a comment. Anybody else there have any questions? Any comments? Just
Questions, comments, concerns,
entered in the
observations.
chat. Yeah.
Um,
And like what happened to the cooking show that was normally on at this time?
another quick thing too as well. If you haven't done so, we have a center set up, the Notes Center, where you can actually go and look at some of the material that we have put out here regarding the notes themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely visit the Note Center. You can actually find, some of the articles around exit strategies, what note investors think about, how they do due diligence,
Yeah.
different things of that nature. I see a comment here.
Yeah, Patrick there jumped in. So Patrick's our buddy at the Node Investor University. and that's where um, we've been learning the ways from Desi and Patrick.
Yes, one of the best in the space, Patrick France here. So yeah, he definitely gave a great call out there regarding illustrations because we have different types of learners. So appreciate you sharing that, Patrick. I'll definitely go back and follow up next week with a quick illustration of numbers when it comes to the three possible outcomes in general. So great call out. Thanks for commenting. I totally appreciate that, Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, if that's all, maybe we'll call it a good. People can go on carry on with their Thursday. And
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to call out your shirt too, real quick, Greg. This is not coordinated. I like that shirt.
oh yeah, yes. I guess I should save my comment to say, "Great minds think alike." And then the spinoff is that is fools seldom differ, but most people want to ignore that part.
Well, hey guys, I appreciate you checking in with Greg and I. Any questions, comments, concerns, observations, you can email Greg and I. You can visit tiglegacy.com as
Yeah,
well. We have some videos over there where you can kind of dive into a short, series of videos around note investors for individuals who are new to the space. For the more advanced individuals, I will encourage you to submit topics, questions, could be documents, anything of that nature. If Greg and I are not your guy, we'll actually get someone in here pretty similar to maybe Patrick. If he has some capacity or he has some bandwidth, we can get him on
yeah,
to cover us when it comes to topics that we have,
yeah, yeah. No, that's
dove in.
yeah. We do have an invitation out if you're involved with real estate investment space, note investment space, or anything that seems like it's remotely related. Let us know, and you can be a guest, and
Absolutely.
we can do a deep dive into that. So
Absolutely. Okay. Well, hey, investors, enjoy your Friday Eve. Again, let us know if you need anything. Stay safe, stay healthy. And until next time, happy investing.
oh yeah, Patrick says yeah, and call me after you end here live. Okay, all right, there we go.
Thanks, Greg.
So I'll give Patrick a call then.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, so he asking us to reach out to him after here. Okay,
Yeah, that's
great.
what he said. Yeah, there we go. Call me after you end the live.
Okay, great, great. Thanks, Patrick.
Okay. All right. See you
All
later.
right. See you later, Greg. Thanks.
Thanks, Maurice.